My screen is visible to you all? Yes?
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
Okay. So first of all, I'll give you the description of your task 3, which is data visualization with Matplotlib. Okay, and this task involves using the Matplotlib library to visualize data, and your responsibility is to create a bar chart and a line chart using Matplotlib library to visualize data from a pandas data frame, and you have to customize the chart with labels, titles. Okay, so this is your responsibility. So basically in this task there are only two charts, which is bar chart and a line chart, but we will learn about two more charts. Okay, so you have to do total four charts in your task 3. Okay, so now I'm going to start. Here's my Jupyter screen. Okay, so first of all what we have to do, you have to do import the necessary libraries, all necessary libraries. Okay, so first is import pandas as pd. Okay, which is useful for basic function, you all know, read, write. Okay, then comes the numpy library. Okay, numpy library is useful for handling numeric data type. Okay, then we have to import matplotlib dot 5 dot splt. Okay, matplotlib library we have to import for the visualization purpose. In this there are many inbuilt charts and plots. Okay, so third is your matplotlib. Then comes your Seaborn library. Okay, which is the advanced library for visualizations. Okay, then comes the from datetime, import datetime. Okay, so from datetime library we are importing the datetime function. Okay, so basically this function is useful there where there are time columns. Okay, time format columns. Okay, if your columns are containing the datetime format, then we have to properly convert them into the proper datetime format so that visualization will not give error. Okay, so for this we have to import the datetime library. Okay, so these are the basics library you have to import first, then you have to do your second task. Okay, so these are all the important libraries. Now comes we have to import, we have to load our CSV file into the Jupyter notebook. So how to import, you all know, you have to assign a variable. Here I have written data. Then you have to use pd dot read underscore CSV, and inside the parentheses and inside the inverted column, inverted columns, you have to mention the location of your file. Okay, so we will go to our downloads part. Okay, and we'll copy the properties of your file. So here is your data set. Okay, so this is your data set. These are the columns it is containing, which is year, on WM, size, income, like so on. Okay, and these are the rows. So basically this is your data set. Now what we have to do, we have to right click here, then we have to go on properties. Okay, and by clicking the properties, this kind of page will occur to you. Okay, then comes we have to copy the location part first, then we have to paste it here, and we have to use the double slashes in between the location part. Okay, then we have to copy this title part. Okay, and we have to paste it here, and we have to write dot csv in the end. Okay, so this is how you can import a CSV file into your Jupyter notebook. Okay, so now what we'll do, we'll display some of the rows for checking the reference later. Okay, so we are displaying some of the rows, and here I am displaying the 10 rows. Okay, so you all know what head function will do. Head function will give you by default top 5 rows, and if you mention any number here, it will give you this type of rows. Okay, so here I have mentioned 10, means head function will give you top 10 rows from your data set. Okay, it will display top 10 rows. So here is your top 10 rows of your data set. Okay, this is your top 10 rows. Now our first plot will be scatter plot. Okay, so our first plot will be scatter plot with year column against the on column. Here we are plotting the scatter plot between year, this column, and on column. Okay, so we are using these two columns. So basically I'll tell you first like about the scatter plot. Basically scatter plots are used to observe relationship between variables. Okay, and uses dots to represent the relationship between them. Okay, so this is the basic definition of it. Now for creating the scatter plot, we have to use scatter function for it. Plt.scatter, this is your syntax. Then in the bracket we have to mention our first column, which is year. Okay, then we have to mention our second column, okay, which is on. Okay, this is how you can use. Okay, now we'll add the title to the plot. Okay, so for adding the title to your plot, you have to use plt.title function, and inside the bracket you have to mention the title. Okay, so it's title going to be scatter plot because this is your scatter plot. Okay, now comes the setting the x and y label. Okay, now we'll setting the value of x and y label. So for this we have to use plt dot x label, and inside it you have to mention the column name which you want to be your in x-axis. Then for the y label you have to use plt dot y label, and inside the bracket the remaining column you have to write. Okay, and last, for showing your result, last is for showing the result you have to use plt dot show function. Okay, so for scatter plot you have to use scatter function here, and you have to mention, this is your syntax, you have to mention first column, then second column. Then for adding the title to your plot you have to use plt dot title function, and inside the parenthesis you have to write the title name. And for setting the x and y label you have to use x label and y label, and inside the brackets you have to mention the column names. Okay, and for showing your result you have to use plt dot show function. Okay, so this is your scatter plot now. Okay, so here title is this scatter plot, this is your title part. You have set scatter plot here, and x label is your eo and y label is on here. Okay, and this is your scatter plot between the year and on column. Okay, so this is your scatter plot. Now our second chart will be, line chart. Okay, now second chart will plot the line chart between the same two columns. Okay, year and on, you can take any columns. Okay, depends on you. So for the line chart I am taking the same two columns. Okay, so first of all I'll tell you little about the line chart. Okay, like what is line chart. So basically line chart is used to represent a relationship between two data x and y on a different axis. Okay, so this is your line chart, and for plotting the line chart you have to use dot plot function. Okay, you have to use dot plot function for it. Then same syntax rest all syntaxes will be same. Okay, this is your first column, which is year. This is your second column, which is on. Okay, and rest all the syntaxes going to be same. Okay, these are going to be same. Here just I am changing the title. Here I am doing the line chart. Okay, okay, so this is your line chart. Okay, so basically for line chart you have to use dot plot function, and for setting the title, this is your title, which is line chart we have fixed, and this is your x label, year, and y label on. And you are seeing this constant blue line because of the year column. Okay, so because year column is constant 2008, that's why it is showing you the straight blue line. Okay, so it is basically representing the line form, line chart. Okay, line chart basically represents in the line form. Okay, so this is your line chart of the year and on column. Okay, now we'll do another plot, which is your bar chart, or you can say bar plot. Okay, you can bar chart, or you can say bar plot. So basically, what is bar chart and bar plot? Bar chart is a graph that represents the category of data with rectangular bars, okay, with length and height that is proportional to the value which they represent. Okay, so this is the bar chart. So for plotting the bar chart, you have to use plt.bar function, and rest all the syntaxes are same. You have to mention first column. Similarly, you have to mention the second column. Okay, then you have to use the same syntaxes, and here in the title part I'm doing the bar chart. Okay, so this is your third chart, which is your bar chart, or you can say bar plot. So here is your bar chart. It is in rectangular form. Okay, and its length and height is proportional to the value they represent. Okay, so yes, this is your third chart. Now comes to our last chart, which is your histogram. Okay, so I hope everyone knows, but I'll tell you again that histogram is basically used to represent data in the form of some groups. Okay, and it is a type of bar plot where the x-axis represent the bin ranges while the y-axis gives information about frequency. Okay, bin ranges means interval or ranges. Okay, so for plotting the histogram, you have to use plt.hist function. Hist function you have to use for plotting the histogram. Okay, okay, then you have to mention here column, and your histogram will be of only one column. So here I am taking the income column. Okay, and for setting the title, you have to use plt.title, and now this title be your histogram. Okay, and this is your result. You have to use plt.show function for showing your result. Okay, so this is your histogram of the income column. Okay, so yes, this was all your task. You have to first import the necessary libraries, all necessary libraries. Okay, then you have to import the CSV file into your Jupyter notebook. Then you have to display some of the rows for just taking the reference. Okay, what's the value, and your plot is correct or not, for just checking. You can display some of the rows. Then this is your scattered plot, okay, which is in dot. This is your dot representation. For this you have to use scatter function. Okay, and this is how you have to use its syntax, which is first of all you have to mention first column, then second column. And for the title, this is your title. For title you have to use plt.title, and inside it you have to set the title name. Similarly, you have to set the x and y label by using the x label and y label function. Okay, and plt.show for showing your result. So this is your scatter plot. For line start, you have to use dot plot function. Rest all syntaxes are same. Okay, and for bar chart, or you can say bar plot, you have to use bar function. Okay, it is the rectangular bars and its length and height is proportional to the values. Okay, now comes the histogram. It will group the value. For this, you have to use hist function. Rest all syntaxes are same. Okay, so this is your histogram. So yes, this was all your task 3. So I hope this is clear.